The rainbow. Scientifically speaking, it's an optical illusion due to sunlight passing through rain droplets. Culturally speaking, it's a symbol of pride and representation for the spectrum of human identity and sexuality. Biblically speaking, it's a promise that God won't decimate the earth again via water. The rainbow's a big deal. It's pretty cool. I like colors. That being said, how many colors would you say are in a rainbow? Obviously, a majority of you answered 7 because that's what you were conditioned to do so. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. One of these things is simply not like the others, and I'm sure you all know that already. It's no secret to those who have done the research that indigo is only included due to the combination of spiritual, superstition, and capitalistic reasons. 7 was seen as a significant number due to how often it appears in everyday things, so the rainbow needed 7 colors, and also they were trying to push the sales of indigo dye in the 1600s. Indigo in the rainbow is outdated. None of the other 6 colors get a shade buddy hanging around. Why indigo and not vermilion, chartreuse, or teal, etc.? The only defense to keep indigo I've seen is Roy G. Biv, a popular acronym mostly used so children can remember rainbow order easier. In my humble opinion, Roy G. Biv is pronounced the same with or without the I. Many acronyms have implied letter sounds for the sake of pronounceability. In fact, Roy G. Biv's own pronunciation is a stretch. If we were to read the text as written, it'd be more like Roy G. Biv. Successfully dismantled Indigo's life purpose, revealing its fraudulent origins and detailing the shade's very real main character syndrome. The 6 colors remaining in a standard rainbow are fine. They're great, actually. It's a perfectly nice, even 3x3 with the primary and secondary colors within the spectrum. But it can be more. I never personally had an issue with the number of stripes within a rainbow. 7 is a good number. Sir Isaac Newton, who discovered the rainbow's color spectrum and had the initial say on what colors were canonically included, was onto something in that regard. After taking out indigo, I do believe there is one obvious color that slots in perfectly into the 6 left standing. It's pink.
It's pink.
And it's scented. I think it gives it a little something extra.
Pink should be in the rainbow. Outside of the core 6 and discounting black and white, since those two are arguably not even colors, but that's a different topic, pink is one of the most culturally solid, significant, and distinct colors. It's probably more popular than yellow and orange, but again, that's a different topic. Pink is everywhere. In modern times, society uses it to symbolize the very concept of girl, as seen in the hundreds of destructive gender reveal events. That's not to say pink is girl exclusive, by the way. I know in the past it was considered quite masculine, and gendering colors as a whole is silly conceptually. I'm just saying it's inarguable that the color association that society has conditioned in the year of our Lord 2026 is blue is boy and pink is girl. Now I can already see what the opposition is going to counter with. Some of you are going to immediately say, well, pink should not be its own defined color within the rainbow because it's just a shade of red. And I kind of hate that. Yes, if we break down the science of color mixing, pink is red and white. But firstly, again, white is debatedly even a color in the first place. So who cares if we use it as a mix-in? Secondly, I think there are enough shades of red and pink to separate them, especially on the darker end. Thirdly, if pink is just red, then that should go both ways, right? Like, the word should be interchangeable to some degree. Fourthly, we have long split these two colors culturally. I pull back to media examples and those gender reveal parties. Red and pink stand separated, and either color is chosen with specific intentions in mind. I do understand I'm making arguments with a vocal anti-pink minority. I think adding pink into the rainbow would generally be uncontroversial and is already done occasionally, and so we have Roy G. Biv or Proy G. Biv. It looks okay slotted on either end. So that's that. I stand here on my towering throne having fixed the problem. The new 7-color rainbow is fixed, and the world is a better place for it. But isn't 7 such a limiting number? I am nothing if not willing to create color category-based controversy. I like even numbers better than odd. I like in the event of splitting into pairs, everyone gets a friend. Is green or orange or yellow to stand alone if the path divulges four ways? What if a tournament needs to be held and the brackets are gunky if there are only 7 combatants? On a personal level, what makes it hard for me to stop here? Right here? 8 is my lucky number. We're back on the superstition stuff, much like the origin of the original rainbow. When an 8 lands sideways, it literally represents everything. Infinite potential in between those two loops. If the rainbow is really something like every color or a promise from God himself, it should be indicative of the infinity that implies in these very stripes. But what color stands strong enough on its own to sit beside the primaries and secondaries and cultural diva icon pink? Only one color really comes to mind, and this is the ultimate crux of this piece. Here's where I gain or lose you. Brown should be in the rainbow.
BROWN, mix red, blue, and yellow, and that's me.
I truly, with every fiber of my humanity, believe the color brown deserves more credit than it currently gets. When some people think of the color brown, they immediately turn their minds towards nasty things like dirt, rust, and feces. However, have you considered that brown represents chocolate, coffee, soft furs, other means of soft, good critters, architecture? Brown is a very versatile color. Dare I say, as versatile as the slightly overrated reds and blues. Again, that's a different topic. Compared to pink, it is a bit more of an uphill battle to sway minds into brown. So I'm gonna try my best to tackle what I perceive as the biggest counter arguments. 1. The dookie thing. Again, just think of nice things. You don't always think of blood and gangrene when you think of red and green, so I do think it's a mental conditioning thing that we all need to handle here. Brown can be nice. Just think of nice brown things. 2. Much like the problem with pink, on a color technical level, brown is a shade of orange. Look at this and tell me it's orange. I joke aggressively. We as a society have fully separated brown from the color orange when thinking of colors. 3. Where would brown even go in an 8-color rainbow? Well, I'm glad you asked, because it fits right above red. To make brown, it's a mixture of red and green, so it makes sense to place it next to one of its origin colors, and it's close to orange in the spectrum. Pink gets kind of lost from its original origin point in this format, however, but I think violet and pink look good enough next to each other to give it a pass. 4. I, a random viewer, don't personally like the color brown and would not like it in the rainbow. And that's fine. I love that for you. But I do like the color brown. And doesn't that create a net neutral? I guess this is the way I approach any argument that is simply some random person doesn't like a thing someone else likes. Doesn't the fact that someone else likes it kind of even it out in the universe? This is the whole point of like having preferences and opinions. The rainbow itself is meant to be something of a color spectrum. As I alluded to before, not a lot of people exactly love the color yellow, right? But it's still in there because it's considered a necessary component of the spectrum. I do like the color brown, and I think that cancels out anyone else here who would dislike the color brown, along with those who do enjoy brown versus those who don't. And I guess that leads into the final point about this. You are never going to change the world's perception of what a rainbow is and what it should be. Your efforts are fruitless and a waste of time. This is less of a concrete argument and more of an external spewage of your personal brainworms onto the internet. And like, wow, thanks. Real talk, this is entirely selfish and personal interest driven. I have no delusions that we're going to start seeing this specific 8-color rainbow out in the wild. A majority of rainbow merch uses the simplified 6 stripes anyways. Mostly, I just like these colors quite a bit and feel they can be utilized much more consistently both in our world and media spaces, particularly brown. Its versatility is not being pushed as far as it could be, and I think putting it on a pedestal like the rainbow at least opens up more people's eyes to this color's potential usage. This is an old OC I thought up with a friend on a car ride to Walmart or something. This is Bappy, the brown Teletubby. He likes pastry bags and sand. Now, the saying does go, be the change you want to see in the world, and I intend to do just that. I'm gonna redefine the rainbow, or remake the rainbow, or rebirth the rainbow. Some smancy double R quote catchphrase. I haven't decided which one sounds best. Point is, in my household, the rainbow consists of these 8 colors, and I intend to be annoying about it until my friends and family do the same. Hi, bit of an addendum here, but I did record this audio a while ago while I was still at my old job, and I think I didn't know if this was an interesting enough a topic for anyone but myself, and I also was attempting to do scripted content, as you can probably see, and I'm not sure if I'm cut out for any of that. However, I did just want to show off that this is kind of what I'm going for. This is the 8-color rainbow. Now, is this the prettiest
rainbow that could be made. No. However, this is what I'm picturing when I talk about an 8-color rainbow. Isn't it lovely?
Thank you for attending this seminar. These are the thoughts I find imperative to share with the world. And if you're interested in any more, mayhaps answer my call for engagement and leave a comment or sub. I don't have dental insurance.